Self-aware leader coming at you guys. Just got off of semi-vacation. I always do a little bit of work when I'm vacationing. Went to the Seattle Art Museum, toured all Pacific Northwest. I encourage you to go on my Instagram, and you can see, went hiking tons of places, super beautiful. Went to Leavenworth, all kinds of areas. Awesome. Saw so many waterfalls, Mount Rainier. Pacific Northwest is absolutely amazing. Tons of nature, tons of museums, super cool, amazing food. Today I want to get into creational laws. You say, what the hell is that? Creation? It's like natural laws, things that evolution and adaptation work in nature, and how we can take those principles and use them in our leadership. Now, I have another podcast called Higher Density Living. It's more of a spiritual philosophy type podcast, and we have creational laws in there. So what I decided to do was work with Alexander, the co-host on Higher Density Living, and we kind of created these creational laws that are applied to business and leadership. So like cause and effect. That's a big one. We'll start off number one. So this is the law of origin and interconnectedness, or cause and effect. And in business, every decision has a ripple effect. And we know this. In nature, it's this way. You take a pebble, you disrupt a perfectly peaceful pond, what's going to happen? You're going to see the ripple effects. So when we look at that and we know we have to make a decision as a leader, we have to analyze potential consequences. We can't just go off of pure emotion. We have to take the time to exhibit logic, right? To have that balance of the emotion, the intuition, that creative, that feminine aspect of it. And then also the masculine, which is the logic. And finding what are potential consequences. What's going to happen to the client? What's going to happen to the customer? What's going to happen to stakeholders? And do this before we act or react, because that's a lot of times what we do when we make decisions, isn't it? We're so addicted to our cortisol levels being so high, and we're so angry and upset and moving really quickly and stress, go, no time for people, no time for love, no time for real leadership. And so it's just decision after decision after decision, and we don't realize the ripple effects that are making all across the organization. Not just an organization, but it could be if your sales team is, the decisions you made, they affect your sales team, and then your sales department is what? Not happy. And so how does that react to the client? These ripple effects are really important, and you must analyze them. In leadership, cause and effect, leaders' actions shape company culture and outcomes. And you have to take responsibility for the impact of your choices. What does company culture look like? It's what you do day in and day out. It's the way that you act as a leader around people. That's the culture. You're the leader. They're looking up to you. They're taking those cues that you give subconsciously or consciously and the outcomes of those cues that happen, and that is creating the culture. You're a creator. You're creating things. Whether you realize it or not, you're creating a culture. And a lot of cultures that I go into in business is pretty toxic. So take responsibility for that. Impact, what does that look like? As a leader, you impact the whole organization. As a small business owner, or C-suite, you're impacting multiple lives. So what are the choices that you're going to do in that? And then looking at it, not just business and leadership, but as a team, in this law of origin and interconnectedness, the cause and effect. Recognize the interconnectedness of team efforts. Every member's contribution matters to the overall result. I always look to John Maxwell when he talks about this, especially when he gets into teamwork. And he always had this amazing way of, even when he introduces people at conferences and stuff like that, he always says how amazing they are. And I'm using amazing a ton, I know. But it's an important word because it has to be used for your employees. Other employees need to know that this employee is amazing. They need to know that they're amazing. You need to just be constantly pulling out the best things in the people and then telling others about that. When they come next to you, side hug, pat them on the back. If you don't do that, if HR is like real picky, whatever, fist bump and be like, you know what, team, so-and-so did this, this, and this. Absolutely amazing. We got this done on time. Not only did we save a ton of money, but the most important thing is it made this client say this to me about us. And it's a direct reflection of not just the whole team, but because of you, Susan, this is what happened. And just an amazing job. And I wanted to give you this credit in front of everyone in the meeting today. Doing that constantly, guys. You should be doing that multiple times a day, finding ways to be the cheerleader with your employees. That's cause and effect. And that shows that they matter. And what happens when they know that they matter? They contribute more. It's cause and effect. If a leader never gives time to show respect to employees and acknowledge what they're doing and how they're doing it, what's going to happen? Cause and effect. You're going to have resentment. What else are you going to have? You're going to have people leaving. You're going to have a bad culture. Law number 2 is law of reciprocity. Okay, I'm going to try to pronounce this word. Reciprocity. Such a bad word. What I like to call is the law of interaction. And in business, it fosters positive relationships with customers, partners, and communities. So your actions will be met with corresponding reactions. Reciprocity. Duh. There we go. Couldn't believe I couldn't get that one. I've been working all day long. I got back from Seattle, and so this was the first Monday. Today's Monday, and I'm be releasing this today too. And so it was just constant I worked a little bit on the weekend, just a few hours each day, because I need to get these 3 projects done, and I got them done. I got 2 done on Saturday, 1 done on Sunday. And then today I put off all the little tiny things. So all day today I've been working on just, cleaning up, getting little things done, just sweeping them in, it's basically like organizing house. Not my house, but house work-wise. This interaction with customers, partners, and communities is going to cause a corresponding reaction. And this is really important because when you value interactions, I want you to listen to me. When you value interactions and you put meaning to those, it will create meaning with the customer, with the partner, with the community that you serve. You need to take the time. That's why it's so great to work on systems, not to just be putting fires out. I talk about this almost every podcast because every time I talk to business leaders, all they're doing is just running around putting out fires. And they bottleneck themselves where no one can make any decisions but only them. So they're having to make decisions and put out fires. That's all they're doing all day long. When those 2 things you don't have to do hardly at all. You should not be making decisions or putting out fires. That's for your leaders to accomplish. If they come to you, here's what I want you to do. I want you to start doing this with your leaders. It requires a lot of trust, so you need to start trusting your leaders. Say, if somebody comes to you and says, hey, boss, what do you think about this? This is what you need to say. Jim, I believe in you. You will do the best. You can represent me. I trust you. And you will do the best that you could do for the company. I want you to handle this. You're a leader. You're amazing. Go handle this. Start saying that to every leader. Every time they come to you. Then eventually they're going to be like, I know, boss. And they'll walk out the door. I had this happen to me once. One manager came in and he's like, oh, I don't even want to ask you. I'll just go handle it. I was like, perfect. That's awesome. You don't need to handle everything. Plus it feeds your mind with all this negative because there's 80% of great things happening in your company and there's 20% negative things happening. You don't need to know and dwell on just the 20% all day. You're not hearing because negative news always trumps everything, right? It's an evolution psychology thing. We have to survive. So we need to know if there's any problem with the tribe. So the immediately negative news, that's where gossip comes from. It's evolution psychology. We value negative news. So all day long, you're just hearing negative, 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 and there's no chance for you to get any positive news. So work on your systems. Work on your interactions. What does that look like? How do you impress a customer in their interaction? Take the time or assign this to somebody and tell them, hey, I'm going to give you a week or I'm going to give you 2 weeks. I want you to present to our team how we can be better with our customers, how we can be better with our partners, how we can be better with our clients, whatever it is, in our interactions with them. Can we redo the emails in the CRM to create more value? Can we give them a gift, a book, or something like that? These things are so important. And guess what's going to happen? This is a law. Your actions will be met with corresponding reactions. If you put out and give, you will receive. It's a law. I believe it in 110%, because when I give, and I love, it comes back to me 10x. Try it. Leadership. What does the law of reciprocity look like with leadership? There I go again. Well, model respectful communication and collaboration. The way you treat others sets the standard for the entire organization. What does modeling look like? You know that people are looking at you. Think of it like a model that's walking down on the runway. You got to walk a certain way. You're wearing certain clothes because everybody's staring at you and noticing you. Believe it or not, even subconsciously, all your employees are watching you. You are on a catwalk every single day. That doesn't mean, if you want to dress amazing, that's awesome. A lot of people like to do that. But if you model, think about this. I want you to think of the catwalk. When you model respectful communication and collaboration, that's going to set a standard for the entire organization. And then what does that look like on the team level? This law of interaction. Cultivate a supportive and collaborative environment. Uplift each other and celebrate successes together. You have to take the time in every team meeting to find a success story, to celebrate success. You need to celebrate success. Find fun ways of doing that. They used to do a cool thing in the car dealership, and it was for the employees. Customers had fun too. They would have like a cash machine, and you could go in there, and if you bought a car, you could grab all these $1 bills. They would have like a gong, and people would hit the gong, and it would just let all the employees know, success, yay, we sold something. This is amazing. And there's so many avenues of this. There's a success story. Somebody went above and beyond. Nordstrom Way book, absolutely amazing. If you want to know about customer service, Nordstrom is it. Read all about their customer service. I'm going to give you a hint. Go to ChatGPT and type in, give me a detailed report on how my organization can model the Nordstrom Way, Nordstrom's customer service. And then ask ChatGPT again, what are the 5 best books for customer service? Buy those on Amazon. They're going to be $10 to $15 a piece. Give that stack of books to whoever's in charge of your customer success and tell them that you want to get 5 things out of each book that we can use for the next year. And every month, we're going to talk about principles in each of the books. And you want them to lead a team meeting, and you're going to be in it. You want them to lead it. You want them to lead a team meeting with these changes and the things that we can do. Change your organization, I'm telling you. Celebrate success together. Stop putting out fires. Let your leaders lead and start celebrating success together. Carry that vision. Teach the vision. Share the vision. Just go all in on vision, celebration, birthdays, all of that, and you'll totally change. I guarantee you, you'll totally change your organization. We're going to do number 3, and that's it. Law of growth and purpose, or motion and striving. This is in evolution, the law of growth and purpose. In business, you need to find a clear mission and vision. Continuously strive, keyword strive. Everything we do, no one wants a video game that's easy. No one plays video games that are easy. Life is not easy. We were put here, I believe, on earth to learn a lesson. And how do we learn lessons? By being in a simulation, a game, a matrix. And it's a hard one, and we learn. That's how we learn, to become better, right? Continuously strive for improvement, innovation, and growth to remain competitive. That's what it is, because most of your competition isn't doing these things. Most of your competition are doing exactly what you're doing right now. And then you guys are arguing over price. Think about that. I want you to think about that. I could probably go to 2, 3, 4, 5 of your competitors, walk around, talk to everybody, and I'm going to find it's the exact same. I do this all the time. It's rare that I go into a business and see the culture's amazing, the leadership's amazing, people are taking self-responsibility, there's decentralized command. So rare that I see any of that. When you have a clear mission and a vision, when you're continuously striving for improvement in a loving and caring way, you're looking for innovation and bringing creativity along. That's, we talked masculine, feminine, you got to balance that. Creativity and innovation is the feminine side, right? You don't just need law and order masculine all the time. That's what creates you succeeding over everybody else. You don't have competition then because you're your own thing. You're outside of that. In leadership, inspire your team with a compelling purpose. Encourage personnel and professional development opportunities. Always learning. I tell that to my employees all the time. Always learning. That is our thing. We are always learning. We learn, teach, we teach, learn. That's what we do. So simple, it solves everything. I'm going to teach to you and I'm going to learn from you. You're going to learn from me and I'm going to teach. And then you're going to teach. It just goes on and on and on. Teach, learn, learn, teach. It's reciprocal. And then for the team, set ambitious goals and work together to achieve them. Put them out there. What's your goals? Does your team know them clearly? Can you see them? Are they in their offices? Is the goal put up really big? Do you know how cheap it is to make a color banner with the goal on it? And get together with your whole company, with the teams. Each make goals for them. Go into your back offices and say, hey, here's our financial goals. Here's what we're looking at. Here's kind of where we're at. I want you guys to come up together and we're going to have a meeting and I'm going to buy lunch, Chick-fil-A, and let's all get together and come up with the goal. And then go buy a banner for less than $100 and unroll it and you put it up on the board up there and have it sitting up there. So every time they walk into their office, they're going to see it. Sales department, do the same thing. Marketing department, do the same thing. If you're a small business owner and you have 5 employees, maybe you can't afford a color banner. Get a black and white banner. Spend $25 with big, bold font and get it up there. Paint it up there with stencils. Whatever you need to do. Every single day, they need to see that ambitious goal and what they're working for. And they need to see you working together for it. You can't expect people to think that you're doing it all the time. You need to share, not in a bragging way. Say, hey, Bill, the other day you helped me with this, this, and this, and I called a client and I used what you had, and guess what? They increased by $50,000 a month. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Helped the company out a lot. I would love to be able to give you a bonus or maybe a gift card or something like that for you, your wife. If you can't afford it very much, give a gift card to take him out to dinner so he can take his wife out to dinner, a partner. Work together to achieve them. And then lastly, embrace challenges as opportunities for learning and growth. That's all they are. It's not a challenge. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. That's what I always tell people. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. That's all. So what did you learn from this? How are we going to grow past this? In your coaching sessions that you're doing with your employees, that's what you're going to ask them. I know this is a challenge for you. How are you going to learn from this? How are you going to grow from this? So I hope we got 14 of these creational laws, these spiritual laws. We've gone through 3 of them. So I encourage you I'm going to have a PDF that you can download. I'll put this on the website. And then you can go through them and study them and make them your own. Do whatever you want. Run them through ChatGPT and put them for your organization. Then teach these, use these and go through a law, a day or however that works with your leaders. But guys, one thing I do want you to do, don't tune me out. If you love the episodes, which we're getting a ton of downloads, I encourage you. I don't ask for anything. I don't ask for any money, no sponsors, none of that stuff. All I ask is that you share this with somebody else. If this helped you, share it with another leader. Share it with your leaders in your work. Say, hey, listen to this, and then let's get together and talk about that. Or I listened to this, and then I want us to talk about this, and then maybe we can do this one thing or these 3 things. So I just encourage you, share it. I want to get the word out and help others. If it helps you, you can DM me anytime. Self-Aware Podcast. I'm on Instagram. That's probably the best way to get at me. I'm on X too. Just type in Self-Aware Podcast. You can go to selfawarepodcast.com and look at the website, and that has everything on it. But appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Always, always be willing to evolve and adapt in everything that you do.